Hey everybody, Sidewinder here with Static Impulse Gaming, and it's Friday, so we're playing World of Warships. We're on the map Estuary, and I'm playing my Tier 7 American battleship, the Colorado. I was pretty excited about this round, because as you could see right there at the beginning, every ship, except for, I believe, one on each team, is a Tier 7. So it's actually a really balanced match as far as everybody being in the same tier. And it's World of Warships 1 year anniversary this week after being out of beta. And so I pulled out my Colorado. I have my North Carolina unlocked now. Actually, I did that this week also. I just am waiting to save up some credits to actually buy it. Anyways, we agreed at the beginning here to, well, a few of us on the western side of the map decided to go ahead and go for Alpha. So I'm heading that way. I am keeping an angle on my armor just in case I'm spotted and get hit. I've also rotated all my guns to the side where the enemy is going to be coming from so that I am ready to fire as soon as I spot them or someone spots them, for instance those fighters. And the first one to pop up is a Pensacola. I waste no time trying to take a shot at him, see if I can hit him before he suspects rounds incoming. Unfortunately, I only got one hit there. I led him just a little far for that shot. I do love the Colorado. It's got excellent range. I have 19.4 kilometer range plus another, I believe it's 20% with my spotting aircraft. So I can really reach out and touch somebody. They are 406 millimeter guns for the main battery, ranged in 4x2 configuration. So you do have quite a bit of firepower. And right now I'm just I was gonna fire at him, but he started turning away, so I went ahead and looked for another squishier target, and a Pensacola broadside is definitely a nice squishy target. I got a few hits on him, but no citadels. A little disappointed in that, but he died anyway, so I'm pretty happy about that. Less guns on the enemy team. And I've got my lead on this Scharnhorst, and he's behind a mountain, but not well enough. With the arc on these American battleships, you can still get him from behind islands like that. So I took the shot since he was broadside. Did a little bit of damage, got a couple of pins. And just waiting to reload. He's still broadside to me, so I was going to take another shot, but he turned in, so it's going to be a little harder of an angle. When he turned in, I decided to go ahead and look and see if I saw an easier target. By the time I got back to him, he was turning broadside again, so that always makes for a good shot. Took out one of his main turrets right there and did a decent amount of damage. And as I was waiting for the reload, it looks like he's getting behind a good island. I had two options right there to either turn behind that island that I just passed in front of, or go more aggressive, turn inside of it, and maybe get into the cap. And I decided to go with the more aggressive option there. Took a shot at that Miyoko. Again, everybody on their team seems to be wanting to stay broadside to us. I know you can get more guns on the enemy if you're broadside to them, but you're also just opening yourself up for those citadels. And here comes the Scharnhorst again, and again he's broadside. I noticed I was getting ready to come out of the cap right there, so I was trying to turn back in before I left it. Fortunately, I didn't quite make it inside, and but I did get back in there right before the cap. Also, due to that really aggressive turn there, I ended up dodging all those torpedoes as they came in. So that was helpful in that aspect also. I do have one upgrade on this ship. I have the Artillery Plotting Room Mod 1, and for any American battleship I'd recommend using that upgrade. It gives you plus 16% to your main battery firing range, which is extremely helpful, plus 5% to your secondary firing range, and minus 5% to your secondary dispersion. All around, it's just a great upgrade to have. Right now, if you look at the radar, you can see our team is pretty much sticking together on this side. We're just slowly concentrating their ships and knocking their health pool down. And we've pretty much all stuck together. You can see there's a couple of cruisers back there kind of sticking around our aircraft carrier, and one cruiser up here with the battleships helping us out. Right now, being on the inside of this island, it's kind of frustrating for me because I can't fire on anything while I'm on the inside of this island. But I am coming around, and again, he's broadside to us. So, got a couple pins right there, and did a decent amount of damage. For my commander on the Colorado, I do have him trained up with basic firing training. That gives me minus 10% reload for my secondaries, and plus 10% damage for my or damage per second for my anti-aircraft guns. With the American battleships, you got some really good anti-aircraft guns, and you have decent secondaries, so I will boost them. I like having good secondaries in case a destroyer or any ship really gets within range. That can be, your main guns take a while to reload, so secondaries can be the difference between you taking them out and them destroying you. The anti-aircraft guns, it just helps keep the planes off of you. You can melt through an entire squadron pretty well with the Colorado if you have everything topped out on an aircraft. I do have the Expert Marksman, which gives you plus 0.7 degrees per second on turret traverse. And again, it's one of those things where the faster you can fire on the enemy, the more damage you can do to them before they do damage to you, the better off you are. And I have Superintendent, which gives me one extra consumable for my repair and spotter plane. I don't usually use the extra spotting plane. Most of the time I just use one at the beginning of the match. Sometimes I'll use one at the very end of the match to if the enemy is running away, but most of the time I just use them at the beginning for those opening salvos. We took out one more of their battleships, and that Colorado was coming in towards me. I did see the aircraft carrier over to my right, the east over there, but he was just out of range for me, and this Colorado, I could see him turning in on the radar to come back towards us. So I decided to go ahead and rotate my guns, which is where that 0.7 degrees per second comes in handy. And I'm going to try and angle my armor a little bit towards him. I'm checking to my right just to make sure there's no other ships over there that I'm going broadside to. And as he pops out, aim at the water line towards the middle of the ship, get a couple of pins. Unfortunately, he got a couple also, so I went ahead and popped one of my repairs. I did select him with my secondaries, and this is another thing where your secondaries can come in very handy. For instance, right now I just set a fire on him, which is going to continuously whittle down his health. And I've got all of my secondaries firing on him. Which again is constantly taking him down. He tried to repair right there, but we were just doing too much damage for him to fix with his repair. Lastly, I do have advanced firing training for my commander. That gives me plus 20% range for my secondaries and plus 20% range for my anti-aircraft guns. And just like everything else, I do like to give my anti-aircraft guns and my my secondaries as much of a boost as I can, because they do help out in the matches. Especially the secondaries are especially good if you're playing aggressive, because that means you're going to be in closer, and when you're in closer you do need those secondaries, whether it's for enemy ships, like battleships like that Colorado that get in close to you, or if a destroyer gets in close. Sometimes your secondaries will take out the destroyer without you even having to fire your main batteries at them. I misled this Pensacola on the first shot, and since he disappeared I was unable to see where they landed. On the second shot I did not make the same mistake. Got a good penetration on that one. And as you can see, anti-aircraft guns are going to work on these squadrons as they're trying to, I believe they're trying to return to their aircraft carrier right now. So it's just free for all for the anti-aircraft guns. I was just double checking those torpedo bombers, making sure they were returning, because I didn't want to think that they were returning and then end up having torpedoes right up next to me and not having reacted before they got there. I waited for that Scharnhorst to clear my friendly Colorado there before I took the shot. Yeah, got a decent amount of damage. Also picked up the Confederate right there. He is slowing down, so I had to aim in a little closer on that one. And fortunately for me, my team, so one of the battleships got some good penetration shots right before my shells got there, so I ended up picking up the kill on that one. In the end, it ended up being a pretty good match for me. I did get 142,208 damage. I got 63 hits, 3 shot down, 2 incapacitations, 3 kills, 1 fire, 2 citadels, 2 assisted captures, and I got 2 secondary hits on that Colorado, one of which set him on fire, and definitely helped out in that situation. I did pick up Confederate for this round, and I got 2,421 base XP. Was a really good round, and the team stuck together in that round, concentrated down the different ships, which definitely helped out, and which goes to show you that when you work as a team, typically you will pull out the win. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.